Hey, it's Friday afternoon and the day is winding down. I'm excited. I can't wait to sign off from work. I don't have much planned for this weekend, but that's a great thing. Actually, the only thing on my calendar is someone is coming to take a look at a leak in the boiler. They were supposed to actually do it last week, but because it's so cold, they said that they will have to turn off the hot water and heat. And who wants to be sitting in the cold house in the cold weather? So they're coming tomorrow. But yeah, that's about it. I think this weekend I'm going to do my hair. I really feel like a Rasta, but I'm not. I actually did my big chop in August 2020, and it was because at the end of 2019 I realized that my hair was damaged. I used to have nice long hair permed, and back then you couldn't tell me anything about going natural, like I knew. But when COVID happened, and after having braid, I think I had a set of braids in maybe twice, and then I decided that I'm just gonna do the chop, and I am very happy that I did. I don't have to worry about going to the salon and basically spending the whole day there. And I don't have to worry about the chemicals. At least that's one less chemical that I have to worry about, because Lord knows what we eat each day, even the food that we prepare at home, you don't even know. But yeah, I got my chop, and it took a while for me and my hair to get to a space where we were happy with each other, because it was quite a struggle to figure out a routine in terms of combing it, or not combing, but caring for it and treatments and stuff like that. But I turn to YouTube for everything, and so I turn to YouTube for that also. And so far, I'm appreciating and enjoying my journey. And you know what it did for me? Doing my cutting off my hair, it allowed me to actually further become more confident with who I am, because there are times like now that my hair might appear to be unkept. Now it is because I'm home, and if I have a twist, it is like whatever, I'll just spritz it to moisturize it, and then that's it. But it took a while for me. It took a while for me to embrace being natural, because I didn't know, after it started to grow, like the texture and the dryness and the mismatch, because there's a spot here that grows slower than the rest. But we came to an agreement that we're gonna love me just as I'm is. Because at the end of the day, my hair is my hair, right? There's some people that can't stand shrinking. I don't mind it, because I know that shrinking is a thing for me. Winter time is my favorite time to actually wear afros in the office. So I'll twist my hair and I'll take it out in the office, because there's no humidity, and so therefore it will not shrink. But even in the summertime when it shrinks, like I don't care. Like I'm not one of those people that trip like, oh my God, it's shrinking. Because at the end of the day, it's hair. It is what it is. I actually do my hair, care for my hair myself, because I can't find anyone locally who actually isn't charging me rent to look at it. So I did attempt 2 times, and the first time someone cut it, and it was cut very unevenly, and I was very disappointed with the service, especially after spending over $200. And the next time, she wasn't, the second time wasn't so bad, but again, like, it's just a whole lot of money for very little, I wouldn't say work, but very little care, instructions, or whatever have you. So I do it by myself. You know, I did get a tip. I go to YouTube for everything. So I remember someone saying that, you know, that they clip their ends when there's like, you know, like this, when it's like straggly at the end. And so I'll just clip it. Like, it's not even, it's not very uneven, but I'd rather clip it also that it can be somewhat healthy until it grows out more, and then until I find a good natural, real natural hair care person, hopefully locally. I'm in New York, and yeah. So that's me and my hair. And so I realized that my journey has taken to me this to this place where I'm so happy and comfortable with myself that if my hair isn't, like, you know, nice and coiffed and looked, you know, kept, that I'm not bothered. This road to happiness for me has been such a journey. When I think about the young woman who, back in, I think it was in middle school, when I was home, and my mother had said to me, "Oh, your pride's gonna kill you," because I had to take the trash out. This was when I was living in New Jersey at the house, and I had to take the garbage out, and I had my hair in setters and rollers, and I took my rollers out just to take the garbage out to the curb. And when I got back inside, my mother said, "Your pride's gonna kill you," and I was like, "Well, we all have to die somehow." You know, but because back then, like, I felt like I did need to just look okay. I don't know. You know, when you're a preteen, like, you don't know who's gonna walk by. It's weird. But I am very grateful for all of the lessons that I have learned in life. I'm grateful that I learned how to love myself, and I'm grateful for being on YouTube, or actually the opportunity to be on YouTube, so that I can grow even further. It's funny how this time last year I wouldn't have thought to do YouTube. If anyone told me I was gonna do it, I would have laughed. I would probably still be laughing, but yet here I am on YouTube, and I'm loving it. I really am. If I can go back to myself 5 years ago, I would tell myself, "Girl, it's gonna be okay. Your hair, your hair's your crown, no matter what it looks like." No matter what it looks like, your hair is your crown, but it doesn't define who you are. So that you know, that, I don't know, that desire to always have your hair looking nicely done and kept, meh. You know, because it's not you. Your hair isn't you. It's just hair. I remember when people used to say, "Oh, it's just hair to grow back," and I used to be like, "Just hair? It's my hair. How dare you?" And I was like, it is. It's just hair. It'll grow back. I remember when I first cut it, though, and I did my big chop, and I used to think, "Oh no, it's never gonna grow back. It's never gonna grow back." And then when it grew, like, it was dry, and, you know, like, it's been a process. Let's just say that it's been a process, but one that I'm enjoying. I feel like it's just like with everything else in life. It's necessary to be patient with everything that you do. So whether it's finding your voice, whether it's learning how to be confident, and whether it's shifting your mindset, everything takes time, and it's very necessary to be patient. I will say this, as an introvert, sometimes everything seems impossible, right? When it comes to work, like, you just feel like, I don't like these people don't like me, I feel out of place. And the reality is, you have the power to change the narrative. We do. I feel like, for me, if I knew then what I know now, the changes that I would have made. But I'm glad I didn't, because if I had made the changes, although I wasn't really bold enough to do them, but if I had made the changes back then, I don't know where I'd be right now. Shoot, I'm still here trying to work to basically finish up this day. Corporate America has changed a lot since I started to work. And I kind of feel bad for those coming, like the young ones who are now coming, especially Black females, because we do have it rough. We have it rougher than most. Some people don't agree, but who feels it knows it. I remember when I first cut my hair, because it was during COVID, and we would have group meetings on Teams, and sometimes, because at that time I didn't know or understand my hair, and I was still trying to figure it out. And we got on Teams. My manager at the time, she required this, I mean, like, for lack of a better word, she required us to turn our cameras on. And I remember feeling so awkward because, you know, no one had seen me since, and, you know, I was trying to figure out my hair, and I'm not one to put on a cap to get online or anything like that, or, you know, put on a head wrap or anything like that. So I would just turn the camera on, but because they already thought that I was weird anyway, I would just sit there. And that was it. And I'll never forget, one of my colleagues texted me on my phone, and she was like, "Are you okay? Why do you look so mad?" And I'm like, "I look mad?" Because I guess when I'm like, I look mad, and then I'm not one to laugh at, like, if someone says something that I don't find funny, I'm not going to laugh. Like, you have some people who are professional at doing that. They're professional at being fake. I can't do that, which reminds me of a time years ago when I remember one of my former colleagues years ago. We were going to a group lunch, and she asked me if I'm not going. I was like, no, I really don't care for that person who's being celebrated. And she was like, "Oh, I don't mind, I'll go, because I can be fake." And I was like, oh my God. I don't know, that stuck with me ever since, because I'm like, what? But yeah, I mean, people can say whatever they want, but, you know, at the end of the day, I can't be something that I'm not. And if I don't rock with you, I don't rock with you. I can't be in your face, kiki, and hey girl, like, no. So I guess that's why people, you know, used to say that I used to look angry. I don't like to waste my time. So if I'm in a space, even if it's a staff meeting, and I realize that time is being wasted, meaning we've already, either the meeting hasn't begun because they're chit-chatting about stuff that's not pertinent to what's going on, then I'm looking like, can we get started? Or I'll even say it. Even though I'm not the one running the meeting, I'm like, can we get started? And then if the meeting is done and they start with the, you know, chatter, I'm like, can I go? I'll never forget, because that's in the office. But when it's on Teams, I remember, like, one time, for those who know, Teams is sort of like Zoom. It's Microsoft Teams. And I remember we had a meeting, and I'm usually the one who never say anything, ever. We just sit there, and, you know, if there's anything that, if I have a question on something, because we can, and it's funny, like, I've had colleagues where we can all have, not all, but some of us may have an issue with something, and when the time comes, they're not speaking up. And I used to always be the one to say, well, you know, and then when I realized that was happening, because it's draining, I was like, I ain't gonna do that no more. So when we have meetings, if there's something that bothers me, I'm not saying it in the meeting, I'll say it afterwards. I'll either say it afterward or I'll say it before the meeting, to get out of the way. Every man for themselves. But anyway, I'll never forget. We were on a Teams meeting, and the meeting was finished. It was month-end close. Month-end close requires, I mean, like, we're supposed to be, you know, like, working. We got some deadlines to meet. The meeting technically ended, and one of my colleagues was just going on and on and on. She was on a tangent, and I was like, can I go? Are we done? And it was so dry. Everyone started to laugh. And, you know, I knew, I always know when people look at me as if I'm weird. It used to bother me. It doesn't anymore, because weird is good. I mean, who wants to be like everybody else? So I don't mind being unique. That's what, as far as I'm concerned, weird is unique. Weird is great. I'm great. But nevertheless, I'll never forget. And, you know, I was like, are we done? Can I go? And everyone laughed. Because everyone felt the same way, but they weren't saying it. And my thing is, I'm like this. I remember years ago, I told the CFO when I was a manager at another company, and I'll never forget saying to him, I'm the only one that's allowed to waste my time. Now, at the end of the day, you know, we are on company time, but if we have a scheduled meeting for an hour, I'm gonna need us to be done in an hour, right? Otherwise, my body's gonna be like, yeah. You know, in an hour's time, you know, if we start to wind down, that's fine. But if we go over because people decide that they want to basically like have a kumbaya moment, not on my time. So yeah. But nevertheless, you know, being on these meetings and knowing, especially at the time, me and my supervisor are the only ones who were black women, well, black period in our group. And here I go now looking like, what happened to your hair, girl? Because you can't, you know, you can try to explain, you know, curly, kinky hair to certain people and they'll never get it. And so, and I'm not one to explain anything to anybody. Like, don't ask me nothing, Google it. Google it, because, you know, it's hair. Good Lord, it's hair. But I feel like, you know, in the beginning, I used to feel very uncomfortable. I used to feel very self-conscious about the way that I appeared. And then I stopped caring. And I feel like when you stop caring about what people think and say, it's like the pressure is off, right? Because I don't care if I walk around looking like buckwheat. Okay, so what? He's my distant cousin. And because if that's the only complaint that you have, then bravissimo. It is a great thing when you are able to walk in confidence, no matter what you look like. There was a point in time when I would feel the need to, you know, dress up. Well, not even dress up, but, you know, to look nice when I go on the street. And I was like, whatever, this is how I am. Take me as I am. Accept me as I am. Just as I am. I've never been a makeup girl, so I'll do mascara. Once in a while, I may do eyeshadow. I'll shape, you know, basically like shape this up and put on lip gloss and go. That's it. You know, when I get dressed, I get dressed. You know, but I do those things for me. You know, like I do those things to please Antonia. You know, if anyone, if people love it, fine, and if they hate it, fine. You know, either way, that's their problem, not mine. Because as long as I feel comfortable with who I am, that's all that matters. And it has been quite the journey, and I'm so grateful for this journey. I'm so grateful that I learned to accept myself as I am. So much so that I look in the mirror and I talk to myself, which leads me to a joke. So on the holiday weekend, on New Year's Eve, I think it could actually have been New Year's Day night. And I was walking by this mirror. You can't see, but there's a mirror right here in my office. And I looked in the mirror, and it was dark because I had my my LED light on. I think it was the blue one, and so there was like a blue, I don't know, aura. It was just nice. And I looked in the mirror, and I was like, "Hey, you cute." And I was like, "Thank you." And then I was like, "I have a headache." And I was like, "Me too." And I was like, that's what I realized, girl. And I went downstairs and I said, "Mommy, guess what just happened?" I told her. She bust out laughing, and I was laughing too, because it was just so. It was crazy that exchange. But I feel like that's how comfortable I am with myself now, where I am okay with looking in the mirror, talking to myself, and reminding myself that you're cute, girl, you're beautiful, right? Sometimes we wait for people to tell us that we're beautiful when the only person whose opinion matters should be your own, right? In 2025, we should all get to a place where we are happy with the reflection that we see in the mirror, no matter what our hair looks like, no matter what our face looks like, no matter what we have on. Because at the end of the day, if you're confident, it doesn't, if you're confident and you're wearing pajamas, people should be like, she bad. She bad. Anyway, yeah, this is just a little rant because I was inspired to turn on the camera and talk about, like this weekend and my hair. And, I just want to encourage, especially brown girls, love yourself. It took a while for me to get to this place because I've been through the whole, like sadness, depression, self-conscious, for, in a little way insecure. But once I learned how to love myself, and once I came to the place where I didn't need to feel validated by anyone, meaning I didn't need for someone to tell me that I was beautiful. Because it's funny how when you're a baby, everyone, oh, you're so cute, oh, she's so cute. And then when you start to grow up, you're like, oh, she's beautiful. And then you get to an adult and you hardly hear it. You don't hear it as much anymore. So you have to tell yourself. You have to tell yourself. You have to remind yourself that you are beautiful. God made you beautiful. So don't wait for someone to tell you that. If they tell you that it's cute, it's nice, thank you. But just know in your heart that you are beautiful. God made you beautiful, and so you are. So don't allow anybody to tell you anything less. Okay? So I'm going to end here because I'm going to go finish up their work so I can start my weekend of doing nothing. Well, no, I am going to be doing some things. I don't have any, grandiose plans aside from the plumber that's going to hopefully fix this the leaking of water before the temperatures drop again. But yeah, I'm gonna just keep working on me. Introvert.